Yeah. It's day 3 of this self-quarantine. I'm feeling like a little bit better. Still have some mucus in my throat, but I think we're getting there. The nose is still stuffed a little bit, but yeah. We Gucci. Let's see, what do I plan today? Man, there's like, I'm gonna write more. I'm going to apply to more jobs. I'm going to work out today. And yeah, maybe I'll make some pasta today. And yeah. Other than that, I'll either make pasta or I'll order some food. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, other than that, nothing else really. I made some TikToks over the last couple of days. That was pretty interesting. Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's a little bit of a creative process for sure. It's a lot more difficult to make a TikTok than I thought. But yeah. Alright. Guess I'll start my day now. Cool. Oh, and I'll watch a movie. I don't know what movie I'm gonna watch today yet, but yeah. Alright. Cool. Peace, y'all. What up, guys? So, just watched a video it was basically like one of those like videos that's where people will go to a foreign country and speak the language of that foreign country, the native language of that foreign country, and surprise like people who live there, like natives, with their ability to speak. And I thought it was very interesting because people became a lot more receptive to these foreign people when they were speaking the native language, you know, for the most part. You know, it's like I'd probably say like most of the time that's how they react, because there's a sort of like respect towards their culture, and the reason why you're speaking that language, why you're speaking their language. And I thought that was very interesting because it reminded me of a time when I was in college. It was actually my freshman year in college, and we had a little like barbecue banquet type of thing, right? And you know, I don't know like a lot of Chinese. I know like very basic Chinese, but I remember there are a lot of international students from China at my alma mater. And during that freshman year banquet, I went to every single table and introduced myself to everybody. Very weird and out of character for me because in high school I was very quiet. I was a lot quieter, at least. I wouldn't really go around trying to introduce myself to new people. And I feel like most of my friends that I did have was because of other people who introduced me to them, not me introducing myself, you know? So that was a very different experience to me. But whenever I came across someone who spoke Chinese and they spoke a little bit of English, but weren't super comfortable, I would speak to them in Chinese. I would say like 你好，我会说一点中文, and then like when I said that, like they would be very surprised and very appreciative and have like a tiny little like small talk conversation if I could keep up. And even I'm not very good at speaking, but I feel like I can understand better and I can read better. But if I understood, I would just like agree, like should like say yes or like, you know, just or disagree, and you know, and just kind of respond small like that. That way I can still keep a sort of conversation going. And if I didn't know, then I say like my favorite phrase, which is 我不知道, and then yeah. But that was a very interesting experience because like even though I didn't speak fluently, they still appreciated the fact that since they were uncomfortable speaking English, I decided to show my uncomfort in speaking Chinese, but I still attempted to do a dialogue. And I remained friends with like a fair amount of those people throughout my years in college. And you know, we would talk either in English, or sometimes they would help me with my English, or I would help them with their English and they would help me with my Chinese and things like that. But I was able to make good friends that way. So that was very interesting. So like even when I went to Italy, I don't remember any of it now, but I went to Italy last year in May, and I don't speak good Italian. I don't even remember any of the Italian that I learned, but I remember I learned like a decent enough where like at restaurants I could like order, or I could say something a little bit. And I remember sometimes like the waiters or waitresses would be like, oh, it's okay, we speak English, you don't have to speak Italian. But they appreciated that I tried, and it's a nice way to make people laugh too, even if you just give into the embarrassment of your inability to speak the language, but your attempt to, people will, they'll laugh with you, and enjoy the fact, and you can have a nice conversation that way. It's a nice little like icebreaker, especially if you're in a foreign country, and and then make some decent either connections or friends or something like that. So highly recommend to learn languages. I have trouble like I feel like my memory is not the best with things in general, but at least like try and learn a little bit before you go on an international travel. Maybe not right now because of coronavirus and everything like that, but when things clear up and you decide to go internationally again, try and speak a little bit of the native language, or learn a little bit of the native language. It also becomes a lot easier to learn it once you're there, and maybe you speak a little bit, but by the end you can speak more, because people will help you out. But it's a nice way to make connection and stuff. And for people who come to the United States as well, and they have trouble speaking English, I mean, they most of the times they still attempt, and they apologize for not speaking the best English, so like don't frown upon people using their native languages in other places, because when we go to a different country, most of the time we're speaking English, so if you're a native English speaker, so don't frown upon someone coming here and speaking their native language to people that they're comfortable with, like I've ran into a lot of passengers in my car who don't speak English, but if I speak to them, if I try to speak to them in English and I don't know their native language, then at least like I'll try and have a small dialogue, and they'll usually give in a little bit, but if I don't, if they're not comfortable with speaking a full conversation or small talk conversation, then they'll just apologize and say, oh, I'm sorry, my English isn't that good, and then we'll have a nice little quiet conversation. Or sometimes I had this one passenger who spoke Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, but he was like, sorry, my English isn't good, and he asked me if I speak Spanish, and I said, oh, I don't speak Spanish. He asked me that in Spanish, but I understood, because people will ask you all the time, and then I said, oh, sorry, I don't speak Spanish, and then we were trying to teach each other phrases back and forth, like small things back and forth. It was hard. It was really hard, especially while I was driving. It was really hard, but it was very interesting because you learn a little bit. Like I said, my memory is bad, but I don't remember the actual words, and it's hard when you don't practice, but yeah, it's really dope. So try to learn languages, especially if you're like traveling to another country, just out of respect for their culture, because they try the same when they come here as well. So so the movie I'm watching today is The Little Hours. I've been meaning to watch this movie for a minute. stars one of my favorite actresses, Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, so I'm very excited to watch this movie. Yeah, I think my brother was telling me to watch it after watching The Witch. So yeah, if you care for spoilers, and you know the drill, if you care for spoilers, then please skip over the next section where I review the movie. So go. Alright, y'all. Peace. Yo, just finished watching The Little Hours, and that movie is hilarious. Yeah, it's really funny. I think it's funnier too if you grew up Catholic, because there's a lot of themes about kind of like the some of the hypocritical things within the church, but then there's also like a lot of themes about kind of how like one sin kind of controls your life. Yeah. So that's a theme there, because I feel like usually, you know, at least in my life, I feel like, you know, I try to get over the one sin that I have, but it's or the one sin that like I lean towards, but then even when I try to get away from it, it finds its way back, and it's really hard to, you know, kind of separate it. And yeah, it kind of talks about that a little bit, but then some of like the hypocrisies that they talk about is like, I mean, like there's another movie that kind of highlighted this, and it's the movie called The Two Popes, and one of the things is about the thing about confession, right? It's a big thing where it's like you could do whatever you want, but as long as you confess, it's okay, you know, it's forgiven. But you know, and that's something that they highlight in this movie. But something that the two popes taught me is that like it's not about going there and confessing your sins, it's about the intent, right? So yeah, so if your intent is good, just like with anything, right, you don't have to be Catholic and do confession, but if your intent is, if you have a true intent to stop whatever sort of bad habits or bad things that you're doing in your life, if the intent is there, then you will stop, you know, and it doesn't have to control your life. But if you're just, you know, saying you're gonna stop to say you're gonna stop, it's tough, you know. So yeah, yeah, it's a really funny movie though. It is hilarious, and yeah, it's strange, but it's that weird sort of like dark humor type of thing. Yeah, and it's a very weird movie, but I enjoyed it. I'd probably rate it a 7 out of 10 in my opinion. Yeah, maybe between 6.5 and 7. I feel like it ran maybe a little bit too long, but overall I thought it was a really good movie, very entertaining, kept my attention. So yeah, and I was laughing out loud a lot of times. So yeah, highly recommend The Little Hours. Go check it out. Alright, cool. Peace, y'all. What up, y'all? So this is day 12 of the workout. This one's gonna suck. This is shoulders and HIIT. Yeah, so we're gonna start off with elevated pike push-ups. From there, we'll do inchworm to pike push-ups. After that, we're gonna do side delt rolls, and then after that, we'll finish up with a wall walk. And after the wall walk, we'll do a HIIT workout of 10 burpees with 20-second rests for between 10 and 12 sets. Yeah, so that's it. Each one of these exercises, we're doing 4 sets until failure, and then 1 minute rest in between each set. So, yep. All right, let's get it started. So we're gonna start off with the elevated pike push-ups. All right, let's give it a shot. Elevated pike push-ups. Inchworm to a pike push-up, so kind of similar. This time it's just not elevated, and yeah, a little bit more strain on the shoulders because I'll be taking the walking action down. All right, I'm about to get started. Cool. These next ones are kind of weird. Never done them before. I mean, not really. I haven't really done any of these exercises. But these are side delt rolls. So I'll do one side, then the other side, failure, and 1 minute rest. Alright. Cool. Cool. Alright, we got one more exercise and then the HIIT exercise. But last one is going to be wall walks. This is going to be wall walks. So we're doing 4 sets up to failure. Alright. Cool. Oh man, my feet are really sweaty. Oh, that's not good. Maybe if I, let's try if I wear socks. Maybe that might help. Because my feet are really sweaty. Just give it a little grip, hopefully. It's terrifying. I'm also like terrified of heights, so it's not a real good one for me. Yeah. Whew, that's scary. Alright, let's try again. I think I kind of got a picture for how to do it. It'd be a lot easier with shoes, but I'm not gonna bring shoes into my room. So, yeah. sucks. Alright. About 20 seconds. If only I had like grippy socks, you know? Alright. Ooh, let's try it again. Okay. Really hurts my wrist, so. That shit sucks. Alright, third set. Let's give it another fucking shot. That one sucks. Alright, last exercise. Those wall walks are freaking shit. Maybe it's because I don't have good shoes, but it could just be because like my core is not strong enough and my legs aren't strong enough yet. And even my wrists, man, that hurts so much all over. So we're finishing up with 10 burpees with 20-second rests and 15 sets of those. So cool. All right, let's do it. I probably did more. That's because I didn't start counting until I did my real reps. So, because some of those were not real burpee reps. Let's go. Cool. Alright, I have 13 more sets. Peace. Yo, what's good? Just finished up my workout, and man, that fucking sucked. Here's the time, 59 minutes. That's after stretching. I finished the actual workout around like 50 minutes. So yeah, about 10 minutes for stretching. So, cool, let's do a body check. I'm freaking tired as hell. Those burpees sucked. Alright, let's do this. I set it up wrong yesterday, so let's set it up way where you can see my whole body. But we'll do a second check just in case. Can't even remove this shit. This thing is a freaking sponge right now. A lot of fat here still. She needs to shave off. And here, you know, a lot of fat in this general area. I feel like this is coming along more, but obviously you still need to tighten this up. But my ribs are starting to come in a little bit. You can see. I feel like my chest is a little bit more defined. Man. And I know my shoulders have gotten bigger. Fuck. Okay, I'll do a second angle. Cool, all my fat. Alright, so doing a second angle over here. Cool. There you go. So, yeah, I'm hungry. Here's the second angle. Alright. Man. Cool. Alright, peace. Hey y'all. So, just finished up my meditation for the day. Gonna end my night here and just try to get some sleep. Hopefully I'll feel better by tomorrow. Today was a pretty uneventful day again. Just like applied for jobs, did a little bit of writing, watched the little hours, and worked out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And just ate, talked to some people on the phone, and that's about it. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna try and do a little bit more of my day. Try and like wake up earlier. I woke up early today, but then I fell asleep again after like waking up and being awake for like an hour. So try and stay awake. Yeah. But yeah, you'll try and get an early sleep tonight, and then yeah, get tomorrow started. So hopefully I feel better tomorrow. But thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Have a good night.